Go ahead, that's why we're here.
When are you going to stand up and take the questions, Lisa?
You're doing such a good job. I don't want to take that away from you.
What do you think causes those quick drops? You know, from like, let's say like 150 to 35 in like less than a half hour.
Yeah, so when you look at how insulin acts, insulin that's secreted from the cells in the pancreas acts immediately. So when you have insulin being secreted, if you think about what does the normal pancreas do, the normal pancreas reads what the blood sugar is through its own internal system of the KATP channel, probably 10 times a second, and then it adjusts the amount of insulin that it's secreting 10 times a second, and so it's very easily able to keep the blood sugar under control. And remember, normal blood sugars are between 70 and 110 almost all the time. If you eat a huge load of carbs, it'll go up a bit, but it'll come down real fast. And if it's coming down real fast, it'll usually won't bottom out, it'll stop and not go low. But some people, the sort of people who say, oh, I've got hypoglycemia, when you tell your friends that your child has got hyperinsulinism and they say, what's that? And you said, oh, it causes hypoglycemia, and they all go, oh yeah, I have hypoglycemia too. You've all heard that?
Yes.
Right, well, all that's happening with them is their blood sugars are going up and coming down quickly, and so their body is secreting adrenaline and other hormones to stop the blood sugar dropping, so they just feel a little funny. So the body does a nice job, but sometimes it goes a little high and sometimes it goes a little low. But in general, the doses of insulin being secreted by the pancreas changes all the time. In hyperinsulinism, the blood sugar really, the cells can't tell what the blood sugar is anymore, so they don't know if it's high or low. So it just puts out insulin whenever it wants. And so if you put out insulin when it's 150, it'll drop the blood sugar quickly, and it can do it fast.
Okay.
So that's the problem, and you can be doing your best, and you're still going to get low. So our goal is, that if you're testing your blood sugar 4 to 6 times a day, that the vast majority of your blood sugars are above 70. If you have a couple in the 60s, that's okay. If you're starting to hit the 50s, we need to start thinking about changing your program. And if you're going into the under 50, you definitely need to change the program. Because you can't be perfect all the time.
Yeah, my rule of thumb usually is if he goes below, if he's 40 or below, like twice or 3 times in a 2-week period, then I call Linda and I give her a rundown of his sugars the last 2 weeks, and then she goes over it and then makes adjustments to his therapy.
Right. So for those online, a point was raised that, when do you need to call in your endocrinologist? How often do you have to be low? And again, it's really, it's individual in each endocrinologist. So typically, we do not expect our patients to change their doses of the medicine, but we occasionally have some families who understand the sort of ranges of dosing that is within the range, and they'll change a little bit. But as a general rule, if you start having blood sugars under 50, you need to be calling in, and if you're having a lot under 60, you need to be calling in. But not every clinic's the same. Any other questions? Great. Well, thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.